Hello and welcome back to the Cronecast at the Rising Moon. My name is Elaine, and on this channel I do the Spirit Guide Monthly live every last Friday of the month. I hope you're able to join me. I also do pick a card readings, I also do astrology readings, but I'm also doing this. Magic Lessons, Learning to Manifest. This is lesson 4. What's going wrong with your manifestations? We're correcting some problems with the law of attraction and the way that it is taught. It does work, but hear me out. This will help your manifestations, it will help them come in more quickly, it will help them be retained. If you're very happy with the level of manifestation that you're achieving, then this lesson isn't for you, but if you're having some problems, stick with me. We're going to talk about it, we're going to break it down, and I'm going to teach you how to make your manifestations come in more quickly and be retained in this reality. As the law of attraction is taught right now, it teaches something called flash and thunder magic, meaning that you will get results, but they will pass quickly. And because an energetic balance, a reciprocity in the energetic exchange, is not being maintained in the way the law of attraction is taught, it means that you are likely to sacrifice one part of your life to feed another, or it means that you will not be able to retain the manifestations that are coming to you. And you can see it in people who've had great big success, but then something in their life appears to go awry. It can be personal relationships, it can be something with their appearance, it can be something with their reputation. Something goes wrong when you try to create too much energy without creating the energy exchange. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about how to do your shadow work. Doing your shadow work is the most important thing, and there is something in both my Life's Purpose energy lesson that I just put up yesterday. There's some information on that. Check that out as well. Please watch these in order. It will help so much. Doing your shadow work will allow you to master your darker side, your darker energy, your dark source material, and that is what anchors things in this 3D. The law of attraction teaches you don't acknowledge negativity. We are meant to live in a state of balance, and to create something, everything must contain its opposite. To know joy, you must understand despair. This is the way it works. We judge our negative emotions as being something that is wrong. They are there for a reason, and they are the counterbalancing energy. So what you need to understand is essentially the source of your pain. And I do give instructions on that in the Life's Purpose video, so please check that out, how to understand it, how to start working on it. One of the things that is very important is self-love. In just a minute, I'm going to tell you how to start achieving that as well. So in the law of attraction, the law of manifestation, what you're working with now, it says just envision it, see the world that you want, live in this ever-positive energy, and that can work for a time period. But because we have an energetic body and an emotional body, if you are trying to ignore your trauma, your pain, or your difficulty, that energy is still there. Here's a better way to manage it. You acknowledge your struggles and give yourself credit for the progress that you're making with them, the good job that you are doing. That is one of the ways to start healing it, because here's the key to self-love. You do not have self-love because you did not hear an encouraging voice in your formative experience. You didn't have anybody telling you, you're doing a good job, I'm proud of you, you're a good person, you're good at that. A lot of times people who are trying to manifest are trying to overcome early formative damage trauma, and so they are trying to compensate for never having been encouraged and given the confidence that they need to. And the way to achieve self-love is to start talking to yourself appropriately. Try being your best friend. Try being your biggest cheerleader, not your greatest detractor. And we're all really good at that. We can all be incredibly self-punishing. To start going towards self-love, be self-encouraging. If you went to something that scared the wits out of you because you've got anxiety issues, because very powerful people have very powerful emotions. And the way the law of attraction is taught is for initiate level. This is an advanced level of manifestation. The law of attraction teaches people how to initially begin to harness and manage energy, and as you progress, essentially almost like on an educational system, you will have more and more finesse, more and more control, and you'll have more and longer duration of your manifestations. It's actually better to slowly build prosperity than to try and bring it in instantaneously. Because again, there is a balance that needs to be maintained, and if you try and make something come in instantly, it's going to throw you so far off balance, and the course correction can be wild. You want to bring in something in a gentle and easy way so it slides in underneath you and becomes your foundation, rather than something that is manifesting in front of you that is not made out of all of the materials of reality. And there's going to be another video that I'm going to do about how to prepare your space and how to make sure that you are representing all the different elements of reality. But for this one, I want you to understand that you are absolutely correct in needing to envision and live in the energy of the now, being positive, finding that which is positive. When I talk about my backstory and I start listing all the terrible things that went wrong, there's a counterbalance to that. I had tremendous blessings. I had people being incredibly kind to me. I spent tons of time alone. I lived in a world where I read constantly. I was a voracious reader. And so I wasn't well socialized, which has made me a leader rather than a follower, because I never learned everybody else's rules. I learned the rules usually of young adult fiction and classic literature. So one of the things that went into shaping me was what we are meant to be rather than what we often are, which is conflicted. If you approach the world with a kind and an open and a compassionate heart, you will have better manifestations. When you are trying to manifest prosperity magic, money magic, this is the one that people work with the most, particularly with the law of attraction. What you need to do is set up what is called an energy exchange, because the energy to create something, you're basically massaging and shaping reality with magic. It is focused energy to bring, like energy attracts like energy, and that's why they tell you to ignore negativity and to just keep telling yourself, everything's fine, everything's beautiful, oh, that terrible thing was actually a beautiful experience. Don't try to ignore your pain. Heal it instead. And your manifestations will be mammoth. They will be lasting, and they won't be beating back reality like that. You need to encompass all of reality. There is nothing wrong with sorrow. There is nothing wrong with pain. There is nothing wrong with struggle. We learn our strength through that. When you are denying what you have overcome, you are denying a giant part of your power, because it was your power that gets you through that. It was your power that brought you to this point in time where you're trying to manifest, where you're trying to bring everything into your life into being. So law of manifestation, the small correction is acknowledge the struggle. I did really well with that. That was really tough. That guy was really, really resisting me, but I kept powering through and I wouldn't allow him to reshape this narrative. These are the ways that you talk to yourself when you face a struggle. If you're overcoming a difficult situation, say you have a roommate that's driving you crazy, be proud of the ways in which you set boundaries, that you handled confrontation appropriately. Don't just pretend the confrontation didn't happen. Examine it and understand how you displayed your power in it. That is the key to manifestation, is understanding that your power is contained, not just that in which is positive, but we need that counterbalancing negative energy, understanding it so we can master it. Make friends with your monsters, and then they will do your bidding. And it is not the same thing as reaching for dark sources. Everybody knows I don't do baneful magic, and I don't encourage people to, because we live in the energy we create. And then I also practice celestial and angelic magic, which this is a principle of it, but this is not how you perform celestial and angelic magic. Celestial and angelic magic leaves this reality when the world is in balance. When it's wildly out of balance, it returns. And the practitioners who know how to perform it are activated. If you are drawn to me, then it is likely that you're able to perform celestial and angelic magic. When I do get around to teaching that, it will be through a Patreon. In this particular instance, though, I'm just trying to help out everybody else. Here's how you kind of improve the finesse of what you're trying to manifest. Acknowledge your struggles, do your shadow work. Speak to yourself as if you were the world's most encouraging manager. Atta girl it, atta boy it, atta they it, atta. You did a great job. Tell yourself, don't ignore the struggle, acknowledge it, be proud of your efforts, see what you can improve, and know that that acts almost, because all dark source comes from a grounding element, that acts to ground it in your reality, bring it into be, and give it a foundation. Negative emotions are not bad. They are necessary to hold our reality together. Negative energy and positive energy are meant to coexist. Don't try to ignore it. Don't try to deny it. Work with it. Make it yours. It's part of your power. All right, so that was one of the ways that you can improve your manifestation. I will be doing more series on this. The next one will be on preparing your space. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about scripting and what to do around it. And I'm also going to talk to you about what to balance for what type of magic that you're trying to do. Before I leave you today, though, one last tip on prosperity magic. Energy exchanges are important, so genuinely, if you're taking something from me, you should be giving something. Please hit that thumbs up button or subscribe. It does help. That constitutes an energy exchange. Maintaining your energy exchange, your energy balance, will give your manifestations more power. In every exchange you have with everyone, reciprocity is important. So the most important part for your prosperity and abundance magic is in your mind, have the plan for how you will be generous for what you are receiving, how you will give from what you are receiving, because that is the thing that will make your abundance and prosperity magic come in, flourish, grow, and be absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time.